So welcome to my garden. Ignore the grass that's dying because we turned it off because it was overwatering one of my trees, but I realized it was dying, so we're trying to bring it back to life. Okay, this is my freak of nature tree.
What is that?
It's because it has French prune tree on it. It has Italian prunes, has Santa Rosa plum, Burbank plum, and a Stanley prune tree. And you can see there's a few. This is our first year, but we have a few of the fruit. Santa Rosa, a couple of the other plums survived the first year. I think there's a total of 5. This is our peach tree.
Ooh, my
We
favorite.
have 2 peaches. This is a Suncrest peach tree. I don't have the variety of all of them. And this is a cherry tree. This is a new one I learned about. It's called Stella. And this one does not need another tree to cross-pollinate, so that's cool.
Oh,
red cherry
I've
tree.
only ever heard cherry trees having to have 2 all the time. I even remember Old House had 2.
The most popular ones, like the Bing cherry, it needs a cross-pollinator, but not this one. So and it's supposed to be sweet, very sweet. And this is a giant Korean pear apple tree.
Yes, second favorite.
It has just one on it. It had more. It kind of died once we had to
Why is all
replant
your
them.
stuff dying?
Well, because they were in pots that we bought, and so we just planted them instead of just getting replanted. And this is a Oberlin European pear. No pears on it. It didn't even have flowers. I'm thinking it's like a year or so before we get anything out of it. And this is a cross-pollinator for that giant Korean pear apple. And this also is a Korean pear apple. It's a different variety. I think that one's called the
It's
Olympus.
so small.
Yeah. There's probably just a year or 2-year-old. And, yeah. So you can tell how young it is. And this is an unnamed one. I think it's my Bosque pear. Because I did buy a Bosque pear. I think this is Bosque pear. Again, it's to cross-pollinate with this Asian pear as well. This is a green gauge plum. So it has one plum. It's green skin and a golden flesh. It's a pretty meaty, dense plum. So I like that one. And this is Fuji apple. I know this one's doing well. Yeah, that one looks good. I'm surprised so many of them stayed on. So I'm excited about that. And this is a Fantasia nectarine. There's a few still surviving. A lot of them fell off. Again, once you planted it, it had to get situated, get reestablished. But there's still some on there, so we'll see. Usually the first year of a fruit tree, the fruit isn't very sweet, so we'll see what happens this year. And this one is a Chinese red date tree. This is the bigger one, the one that you dry, you make.
The ones that make tea.
You make tea out of, exactly. Or you cut it, you put them like in yaksik, which is a rice cake dessert. Zucchini has lots of, I don't know, I hope they survive. It has lots of little blossoms and teeny little fruit coming on it. This is a Washington orange tree. This tree was established already when we bought the house here. But last year we only had like 5, although it had lots of blossoms. So we went in and we pruned it. We noticed it turning yellow. We had to buy this special kind of, put more iron into the ground, so we just fertilized that. But you can see a lot of the oranges seem to have survived. So I'm hopeful this year that we're going to have a decent crop. These are Washington Navel. Easy one. So yeah, you can see a few popping out here and there. A lot fell off. I'll be happy if we can do. And our last one is this is the Fuyu persimmon.
It's a what?
Fuyu persimmon, the squat persimmon.
Oh, the normal ones? I didn't know it had official names.
Yeah, Fuyu. See, this one this is again the first year, so it has like 3 that survived. There was a total, it had about 8 blossoms and fruit, but half of them fell off, which is normally what happens. Even when they're prolific, and just like the oranges, they'll have a ton of them, but then they don't all fruit, they'll go to maturity because they will, break the tree down. So yeah, that's it. So I don't get much of a harvest this year, but they're established finally. And the last thing we're doing is working on the vegetable garden. This area here is where we're gonna, if we can buy some redwood and build it up and have a vegetable garden there. And over here I'll put in some more vegetables. So that's the tour of my little garden. Another year we'll have all organics and it's open to family and friends.